While modern farms treat animals as production units managed through technology and confinement, Amish farmers maintain relationships with animals as working partners, combining practical utility with respectful stewardship. Their approach seems strange to outsiders, but reveals ancient wisdom about sustainable farming and animal welfare that modern agriculture has forgotten: naming horses. Amish families name horses following systematic patterns based on birth order rather than personality. First horse might be prince, second duke, third king, following predictable patterns everyone understands. Never creative names based on individual traits or meaningful connections. Why this seems cold connects to how modern people name pets like children, reflecting personality or appearance. Their practical approach serves easy identification and record keeping. How this maintains working relationship rather than emotional attachment prevents problems when animals must be sold or die. Selling horses becomes easier without emotional names creating sentimental attachments. Teaching children not to get too attached prepares them for inevitable reality that horses are workers, not family members. Retiring old work animals. Amish farmers keep aged horses and oxen after working years end, providing pasture and care until natural death, despite considerable expense. Maintaining non-productive animals costs money through feed, space, and veterinary care for retirees, contributing nothing economically. Why this seems foolish reveals different value systems. Modern farms sell animals when productivity declines. Their loyalty to faithful workers expresses gratitude for decades of service, pulling plows and equipment. How they manage retirement herds involves older children caring for retirees, providing less demanding maintenance. The peace of pasture life after years of hard work represents earned rest. Teaching children about reciprocal obligation demonstrates that animals serve the family for years, and now family serves them in old age. The community practice creates expectation that no one sells old horses, with such action bringing shame. Training animals. Amish animal training relies exclusively on positive reinforcement and patience, never hitting or employing harsh treatment beyond light directional taps. The silent training methods using pressure and release, body positioning, and subtle cues create willing partnerships rather than fearful compliance. Why modern trainers might use harsher methods connects to breaking animals quickly through force versus training slowly through trust. Quick results through dominance seem efficient compared to slow patient development. Their approach builds willing partnerships where animals choose cooperation rather than comply from fear. How this creates better working animals becomes apparent through reliability. Trust-based relationships produce consistent workers, while fear-based training creates unpredictable behavior. The time investment stretches months or years for full training. Teaching children gentle handling includes absolute prohibition on hitting animals, with immediate correction for rough treatment. The character building through patient animal care develops self-control and empathy. The practical benefits extend beyond morality. Calmer animals work better and longer, with less injury risk for every farm task. Amish farms employ horse and oxen power for all heavy work, including plowing, planting, harvesting, and hauling. Avoiding tractors follows theological reasoning about maintaining simpler technology that doesn't require fossil fuels or complex repairs. Horses need only feed grown on the farm itself and basic care any farmer can provide. How they accomplish modern-scale farming with animal power involves teams of 4 to 6 horses pulling specialized equipment refined through generations. Modern farmers think this impossible, unable to imagine farming without tractors. Their productivity matches small tractor farms through efficiency developed over generations. The skills required include reading animals' condition and energy, knowing when to rest and push, and coordinating multiple animals simultaneously. Teaching sons animal management begins from age 6 or 7, with boys working alongside fathers until by teenage years they manage teams independently. The advantages over machinery include no fuel costs beyond farm-grown feed, animals reproducing to create replacements, and manure fertilizing fields naturally. The disadvantages they accept include slower speed than tractors for some tasks, weather dependence since heat affects animals, and daily care requirements 365 days yearly, heaping livestock breeds. Amish farmers maintain heritage breeds abandoned by commercial agriculture, including Belgian draft horses, heritage pig breeds, and traditional chickens. Why commercial agriculture abandoned these breeds connects to modern selection for single traits like growth speed rather than multi-purpose functionality. Modern breeds grow faster but lack hardiness and disease resistance that heritage breeds developed over centuries. Their preservation happens not through intentional conservation, but because these breeds suit their farming methods perfectly. Hardy animals adapted to local climates and thriving in pasture-based systems. How they became accidental conservationists reveals irony. Simply using what works, they maintain rare genetic material almost extinct elsewhere. The genetic diversity they preserve matters as commercial agriculture's narrow breeding creates vulnerability to disease. Selling breeding stock to heritage breed enthusiasts provides additional income as outsiders discover Amish farms as sources for genetic material. Teaching children animal husbandry includes selecting breeding animals for desirable traits and understanding genetics through practical experience. The recognition from conservation organizations includes heritage breed associations acknowledging their crucial preservation role. Communal barn raisings. Community barn raisings bring 100 or more workers together to build complete barns in single days, prioritizing animal shelter as the farm's economic foundation. Why animal housing receives priority connects to animals representing productive capacity, proper shelter, maintains health and productivity, determining farm success. The investment in quality animal housing includes ventilation, preventing respiratory disease, drainage maintaining hoof health, and space accommodating herd size. How barn raisings work involves weeks of planning, followed by coordinated construction where experienced builders handle complex tasks and young men provide heavy lifting. Teaching young men construction skills happens through doing under expert guidance. Fire recovery barn raisings demonstrate community support when families lose barns, with neighbors temporarily housing animals and community completing new barns within weeks. The mutual support system functions as insurance, knowing. Everyone contributes knowing they might need help someday. Modern construction relies on hired contractors, while they mobilize entire community with social bonding through shared work, strengthening ties. Why this creates investment in others' success becomes clear. When you built someone's barn, you care about their animals because your labor contributed. Using animal manure, Amish farms collect and compost all animal waste in systematic processes, ensuring nothing goes to waste and everything returns to soil in forms that build fertility. The massive volume from large herds includes tons of manure yearly from horses, cows, pigs, and chickens that must be managed carefully. How they manage this resource involves designated collection and storage areas, systematic composting processes over months, allowing material to break down properly, and timing applications for maximum crop benefit. The science they understand through generations of practice includes carbon, nitrogen ratios for proper decomposition, temperature management for pathogen kill, and seasonal timing for nutrient availability when crops need it. Why modern farms often waste this resource reveals how industrial operations treat manure as pollution problem requiring expensive management rather than valuable resource building soil health. Their transformation of waste into wealth provides free fertilizer, maintaining soil fertility indefinitely, and eliminating need for commercial fertilizers that cost money and damage soil biology. The closed-loop system demonstrates sustainability. Animals eat crops grown on farm. Manure returns nutrients to soil. Crops grow better with natural fertilizer. And cycle continues without external inputs. Teaching children the nutrient cycle helps them understand where food actually comes from. See the complete agricultural circle, from soil to plant to animal to manure to soil, and accept responsibility for waste management as essential farm function. The labor involved in manure management includes daily mucking of stalls and pens, loading onto wagons or spreaders, and distributing across fields in appropriate seasons. Unglamorous but essential work, teaching youth that all work has dignity and no task is beneath anyone. Breeding animals. Amish farmers select breeding stock primarily for calm, gentle temperament rather than maximum production, recognizing that safety matters more than output when entire families, including small children, work with animals daily. Why this differs from commercial breeding becomes clear when examining modern agriculture's exclusive focus on production metrics: milk output, growth rate, egg production, with temperament irrelevant in confined systems where animals never interact with humans beyond feeding. Their priorities make safety and workability paramount. Since calm horses are essential with children around, gentle cows needed for hand milking by people of all ages, and docile animals creating safer environment for entire family. How they select breeding animals involves observing temperament over years, testing animals with children and inexperienced handlers to see responses, and culling aggressive or unpredictable animals, even when they're high producers. Even high-producing animals get sold if temperamental because safety trumps productivity always in system where children work alongside adults in all farm operations. Teaching children animal selection means understanding genetics and behavioral inheritance, recognizing temperament markers in young animals, and making breeding decisions that affect future generations. The long-term breeding programs spanning decades create distinct bloodlines, with Amish-bred animals becoming known for gentleness and commanding premium prices from buyers seeking safe breeding stock. Modern efficiency accepts dangerous animals because confinement and mechanical handling minimize human contact, while their system absolutely requires safe animals that all ages can handle confidently. The community benefit of gentle animals allows children to safely work with livestock from young age and elderly community members to remain capable of animal care into advanced years. Treating animals. Amish farmers use traditional veterinary remedies, including herbal treatments, poultices, and home surgery for minor issues before calling veterinarians, relying on knowledge passed through generations. Why modern farmers call veterinarians immediately for any health issue connects to lacking knowledge of animal medicine, insurance, and liability concerns, and assumption that professional treatment is necessary for any problem. Their extensive practical knowledge includes recognizing symptoms and diseases, understanding treatment options from experience, and knowing when professional help is truly needed versus when home treatment suffices. The economic necessity of home treatment becomes obvious with large herds where veterinary bills would be prohibitively expensive, and many issues respond perfectly well to simple treatments. The satisfaction of healing animals yourself provides emotional reward beyond cost savings, demonstrating competence and self-reliance. Common treatments they perform routinely include wound cleaning and bandaging, birthing assistance for livestock with complications, and treating bloat, colic, and minor infections with herbal and traditional remedies. Teaching children animal health care involves learning to observe animals closely and diagnose problems, administering treatments under parental supervision, and understanding animal anatomy and physiology through hands-on experience. When they do call veterinarians for serious injuries or complex conditions, surgical needs beyond their capability, or diagnosis of mysterious symptoms reveals respect for professional expertise when genuinely needed. Not rejecting modern veterinary medicine, but using it appropriately and economically demonstrates the balance between self-reliance and recognizing limitations. Animals, natural behaviors. Amish farms provide space and opportunity for animals to express natural behaviors, including pasture time for grazing animals, social groupings matching natural herd structures, and environments supporting species-specific activities. Why industrial agriculture prevents natural behaviors connected to confinement, maximizing production per square foot, limited space, reducing facility costs, and natural behaviors being viewed as inefficient wastes of energy. Their animal welfare approach gives horses daily turnout time for exercise and social interaction, allows cows to graze pastures seasonally, provides chickens space to scratch and forage naturally, and lets pigs root in dirt, fulfilling natural behavioral drives. How this affects animal health becomes apparent through exercise preventing metabolic and skeletal problems, natural behaviors reducing stress-related illness, and sunlight and fresh air, improving immune function. The productivity benefits from welfare include healthy, happy animals, producing better quality products, less disease in natural conditions, reducing treatment costs, and longer productive lifespans, maximizing return on breeding investments. Teaching children about species-specific animal needs means understanding natural behaviors, recognizing signs of stress and discomfort, and providing appropriate environments, allowing animals to thrive. The cost of providing natural conditions includes more land required per animal, reducing stocking density, lower